In this video, we're going to look at projectiles. Now, projectile is really whenever we have something and it's been thrown. So whenever we've considered vertical motion in the past, where we throw a particle up in the air and it returns back to the original position, or it might even fall beneath it if this was a platform. This is a form of projectile motion, but what we have that's different here is that rather than it going in one plane, or in fact we have had horizontal motion in the past as well, what we have is that this is going to be moving in a horizontal and a vertical direction. So if we throw a particle, it will be moving vertically, so it will go up in the air and back down again, and it will also move horizontally. Now, the horizontal velocity of the projectile is constant since there's no force acting in this direction. So whenever we throw something in this particle, there is something acting vertically, and that's gravity, so it's pulling it down. But in the horizontal direction, there isn't any other forces involved. So whenever we're releasing a particle at an angle, whenever we consider the horizontal component, so along every point along this trajectory path, there's going to be some vertical motion and horizontal motion. At the maximum, there'll be horizontal motion only. And at every other point then after that, there's horizontal and vertical. And the magnitude of the vertical should be getting smaller. So it's at its largest, it'll decrease to 0, and then it'll start increasing again. So the arrows here should be getting longer the further away you move. So horizontally, though, there's no forces acting on it, so the acceleration is going to be 0. In the vertical direction, it's subject to gravity, so there will be an acceleration, so we can use the constant acceleration equations. So g is acting down the way. In some cases, I and j vectors can be used in stating the position and velocity factors. And I would obviously be in the horizontal direction, and j would be the vertical. So the first example then, a particle is projected horizontally with a speed of 14.7 meters per second. Find the horizontal and vertical displacements of the particle from the point of projection after 2 seconds. Find how far the particle then is from the point of projection. So if we consider this particle is projected horizontally, so it's been thrown horizontally, what's going to happen to it is there's no vertical rise, but gravity will affect it, so it's going to be moving down the way. So if we know initially the velocity is 14.7 meters per second, and then what we also have is the effect of gravity acting down the way. So we can think about the motion in 2 different planes. So if we look at the horizontal plane, and if we were to do that, so filling in the information, we've got the displacement is what we're looking for. The initial velocity is 14.7. We don't care about the final velocity. The acceleration is 0, and the time taken is 2. So our equations with S, U, A, and T, we're going to use S equals ut plus a half at squared, which is 14.7 times 2 plus a half of 0 times 2 squared, which gives us 29.4 meters. We could have, I suppose, whenever the acceleration is 0, we could have used S equals Vt, which is really our S equals ut part, but the at squared cancels out. So then if we try vertically, and the initial velocity here is 0, because it's got no vertical component, then we can think of that, and we'll take down as positive. S is what we're interested in. The initial velocity is 0. We don't care about the final velocity. The acceleration is 9.8 or g, and the time taken is 2. So again, we're going to use S equals ut plus a half at squared. So that's 0 times 2 plus a half of 9.8 times 2 squared. And that gives us 19.6 meters. So what we have then is at t equals 2, the particle has moved a horizontal distance of 29.4 meters. So we've got our 29.4 and the vertical distance was 19.6. So to work out the distance the particle was from the start, it's going to be the hypotenuse in this right angle triangle. So to work that out, we'll use Pythagoras' theorem. So x squared, where the x is the hypotenuse, is going to be 19.6 squared plus 29.4 squared. So x then is 35.3 meters to 3 significant figures. Our second example then, a particle is projected horizontally from a point 44.1 meters above a horizontal plane. The particle hits the plane at a point that is 39 meters from the point of projection. So that's going to be here, where this is 39 meters. And if it's been thrown horizontally, it's going to look like that. Find the initial speed of the particle. So if we think about the horizontal motion, and we know there's no acceleration, so that means we can use s equals vt, and we get 39 is going to equal vt. So that doesn't tell us very much, so we'll have to look vertically as well. So if we apply suvat vertically, A is gravity, so 9.8. The vertical displacement travelled is 44.1. The initial velocity vertically is 0 because it only has a horizontal component. So it's going to be 0 there. We don't really care about the final velocity, and the time we're not sure, so we could call it t. So, and if we know the t, if we can work out the value of t, then we can substitute into the horizontal one, which will get us the velocity. So we need to try and work out what the t is. So SUANT, that's going to be s equals ut plus a half at squared. So substituting in what we have, 44.1 equals 0, so 0 times t is 0, and then plus a half of 9.8 t squared. So 44.1 equals 4.9 t squared. T squared is going to equal 9, so t then is going to be 3. It's not going to be minus 3 because we can't go back in time, so we'll just forget about that one. So then we substitute t equals 3 into our vt equation, and we get 39 equals v times 3, so v then is going to be 13. So the initial speed of the particle is 13 meters per second. Our next example then, a particle is projected horizontally with a velocity of 39.2. Find the horizontal and vertical components of the velocity after 3 seconds of the projection. Find also the speed and direction of the particle, or of the motion of the particle at this time. So what we have then is initially it's here and it's been projected horizontally. So it's going to go horizontally and then it'll drop down. The initial velocity, 39.2, and there's no vertical motion there. We could put in our gravity, so it's going to be pulled down by g meters per squared second. And we know at 3 seconds, let's say that we're here, when t equals 3. So if we think about so we're trying to find the speed and direction of motion at the particle. So what we need is the horizontal component of the velocity. So we'll call that Vx. And we also need the vertical component, so that'll be Vy. And the speed is going to be the resultant of those two velocities. So it's going to be in here, and we'll need the angle as well. So we need to work out the horizontal and the vertical component of the velocity. So for Vx, well, there is no acceleration horizontally, so the velocity is just going to remain as 39.2. For Vy, so we need to think about suvat. The displacement we're not really fussed on. The initial velocity is 0. The final velocity is what we're after. The acceleration is 9.8 and the time taken was 3 seconds. So we can apply V equals U plus AT to get that V is going to be 0 plus 9.8 times 3, which is 29.4 meters per second. So we've now got this triangle that we know is horizontal at 39.2 and the vertical component is 29.4. So to work out the speed, it's going to be the right angle, it's going to be the hypotenuse in this triangle. So the speed is going to be the square root of 39.2 squared plus 29.4 squared, which gives us an answer of 49 meters per second. We also need to work out the angle to the horizontal, and for that we can use tan. So tan theta is the opposite over the hypotenuse, so 29.4 over 39.2, so then theta is going to be 36.9 degrees to the horizontal. Our next example then, at time t equals 0, a particle is projected with a velocity of 2I meters per second. That means there's no j, so it's just a horizontal projection. And it's been projected from 10I plus 90j. So if we have an origin, 10I plus 90j would be up here. And we could put it in component form, vector form of 1090. So what we'll have is the motion of the particle is going to be this sort of shape, where the horizontal component is 2I. So we want to find the position of the particle at time t equals 4 seconds. So that's here. So if we could find the vector form of this red line, then to get the position vector from O, it's going to be 1090 plus whatever this displacement is. So horizontally, we have S equals Vt, and these are vectors, so we'll underline S and V, and S is going to equal 2I times 4, which is 8I. Vertically, if we apply S, or suvat, S, U, V, and A are all vectors. S is what we're looking for. U is 0 because it's got no component in the vertical plane. The final velocity we don't care about. The acceleration is 9.8 j, and technically it should, and well, not technically, but it is minus 9.8 j because we consider j to be up the way, and then the time taken is 4. So we can apply S equals ut plus a half at squared, where A and U and S are vectors. So S is going to be 0 plus a half of 9.8j times 4 squared, and that gives us 78 minus 78.4j. So we now know that the red vector is 8i and minus 78.4j. So we could put it in vector column notation. So that means from the origin, the displacement is going to be 1090 plus 8 minus 78.4. And that'll give us a displacement of 18 and 11.6 meters. And that's in component form. And that's because to get from O to where we are at 4 seconds, we can't go direct, so we've got to go the long way. So we go to 1090 and then we travel along this 8 minus 78.4.